Hello everyone, it's Jama Malmy. Welcome to part 3 of my Kill a Kit series using this Sweet Safai scrapbooking kit. Today I'm going to be doing the third and final layout from the kit, but this is not my final project. I'll be killing the kit after I complete this layout. So that's a look at the layout we're completing, but of course, as I always do, I'm changing it up, but I'm keeping to the integrity of some of the more prominent elements of the design. So these zigzag strips are really fun. There's several colors, and a few of them we are doing some fringe on. So the orange and the green plain colored ones we added fringe to, and I found that you could cut the fringe if you held them 2 at a time very easily, so make sure you do that to make it go a little bit faster. And then we're going to take the Cheddar gloss spray. We've been using this in the last couple of layouts. The Cheddar was in layout 1 and the Aqua was in layout 2, and the Aqua was also in layout 1. And we're going to put it over these fringed pieces, and that's the only part that we're going to be using these splatters on this layout, but it just adds that nice little extra detail. Now the first change I'm doing is switching up the background. So as you can see here, that leaf pattern is supposed to be that outside border, and then the espresso cardstock would be the center. And I wanted more of the green leaf pattern to show because I thought it was so cute. And also that adventure sticker is brown, and so I didn't want it brown on brown. I wanted it brown on green. Now, this means that the green zigzags don't stand out quite as well on the background, but the title stands out more. So it's totally a personal preference. The way it was designed is super cute too. So it just depends on what you want to stand out. I wanted the zigzags to be a little bit more subtle and then have the adventure stand out. Plus I wanted that leaf pattern to stand out like I mentioned. So we're just going to put the little chevron pieces down, and the guide tells you how far up to start them. So I've got my layout on my Versamat, which has the measurements down the side and across the bottom and top, so it's really easy to line everything up. And so I started with that bottom one and just worked my way up. Now the base ones get put down first, and then this one has a little bit of space, but most of them just kind of butt up to each other. And then the zigzag, the fringed ones get kind of layered up on top. So you'll see I'm adding those ones last, and then you will cover up those little gaps. Sorry for my head getting in the way, but of course that's the best way to see. So then once everything was sort of dry to the touch, I ruffled up the fringe to give it a little dimension. It looks super cute. So I did the same exact process on the other side, and now I'm going to start laying out where I want my stickers. Now I'm switching up most of the stickers on this layout except for the adventure title and the toucan. Those are sort of where they're supposed to go according to the guide, but the tiger was supposed to be used on a different layout, and some other ones that I already used were supposed to be used on this, so I'm just swapping them out and making them work for my my pictures. And I think that this works better for the safari park, kind of like a zoo photos that I'm working with here. And as you can see, I have tons of photos, and I'm going to get every single one of these on this layout, so just wait to see how that comes together. Now, I had these printed at 4x6, but a lot of them I'm going to cut down where I can. I don't mind cropping out a lot of my photos. I like to leave the background when it makes sense, and I like to crop it out when it makes sense. So I was able to crop off the top and the bottom of that first picture, no problem. This one I'll chop down to a 4x4 square as well, and eventually it will become a 3x4. This one right here, I wanted to be a square because I wanted to put all of the portrait orientation photos in a pocket plus insert, which you'll see here in a moment. And so it needed to be only 4 inches wide. Most of them are 4x6, and you'll see that these slots that it goes in, this is the pocket plus page protector, fits 4 4x6 photos. So there's 2 slots and you can add photos to the front and back. So I did that there on the front. And then I've got my third 4x6 going here on the back. And then I've got this 4x4. And so you'll see at the end how I make that space at the top make sense. So now I'm going to crop down the rest of my photos. This one here has a little rhino in the background, so I didn't want to crop him out. And to make room for it, I chopped this 4x4 down to a 3x4. So now those fit across the page, and I'm happy with the placement of most of these photos. And so I'm going to start doing a little bit more embellishing. I'm pulling out that puffy sticker sheet, which hopefully you remember from the previous 2 layouts. There's lots of really cute puffy stickers on that sheet, and it comes in the kit. If you missed parts 1 and 2, I will link those down in the description below, and also the playlist at the end of this video that you can go back and watch. So now this is a paper that I'm cutting mats out of, and so I'm going to cut a mat for all of the photos, and then I just tacked all those down. And now I'm going to start arranging and sticking down my stickers. So the adventure title, you can see it stands out really nicely on that green background. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you what the original looked like up close so you can see how much it changed. Because it did change quite a bit, but definitely when you look at it, when you look at them side by side, you can tell that this was morphed from that layout. So it's really fun to put your own spin on things. Now, as I add these little elements, I'm kind of layering them up. I'm keeping the visual triangle in mind. So as you can see, I've got the orange visual triangle, and then now I need to complete the brown visual triangle. So I'm using this little monkey, and now I've got my 3 little points of brown to make your eyes go across the page and not miss any of those photos. So I'm adding this extra piece of the green that I had from the mats and adding that to the top of this square photo, and then I add a little white piece for journaling, and that's where I'm going to add my journaling spot. Now I'm going to show you some close-ups of that the gloss spray, and I needed a subtitle. That little area up there was blank. It did call for a portrait orientation photo, but I'm going to add a subtitle instead. And I wanted to show you how I did that in Cricut Design Space and using wordmark.it. If you have never heard of wordmark.it, it is a super awesome website. When you pull it up and type in your text, you'll see what that text looks like in every single font that you have on your computer. This works best on the computer. In fact, I'm not even sure if it works on a mobile device. I haven't tried it just because I like to see it on the computer. So once you can select multiple, so you can see here I've selected 5 fonts to see side by side. You've hit the filter button at the top right and it will show you just those 5. These are all very simple fonts, very similar, but I just wanted to see what they would look like. This works really well if you're trying to find a script font or some other more stylized font. And then you can do what you need to do in Cricut Design Space to size it or make it bold or anything like that, and just cut it out and glue it down. So I'm using a little glue pin and my T-square ruler, which works really nicely with the Versamat, because the Versamat will kind of hold the edge of the T-square ruler while you're trying to line things up. And by the way, I'll link all of these products down in the description below in case you are interested in purchasing any of them. So that's what that looked like. And now I'm going to show you how I'm adding these 2 other photos that I had left. That is a flip flap, and we'll come back to that. First, I'm going to put my page in my page protector, and then I'm going to pull out my 2 photos and my flip flap. This is a 3x4 flip flap. It comes in all different sizes, 4x6, 5x7, 4x4, 2x2, 3x3, even 8x12 and 6x12. So you grab your 2 photos. This is going to flip up, so you want one of your photos to be upside down when you're putting it in. Sandwich them together just like so and slide it into your flip flap. And then you're going to peel off this little sticky flap, pull it or fold it under itself so the sticky is on the bottom, stick it to your page protector, and push it down so that it stays in place. And there you have your little flip flap. So let's take a look and see what we've completed here. We've got the pocket plus insert with the journaling, the flip flap, and we have fit 11 photos on this 2-page layout. Take a look at this detail. I love that fringe, and I love how starting with a scrapbooking kit takes so much of the guesswork out of your layout. You can still get creative and do your own thing, or you can follow it to a T, and it really makes it easy. Here is what that layout was supposed to look like according to the guide, so you can see it's very similar but also very different. I hope you enjoyed my version, and if so, hit that like button and consider subscribing to my channel. I hope you'll join me in one of these other videos, and if you're interested in any of the supplies, they are linked below. Have a great day.